Our planet hides immense power beneath its surface, forces that have shaped continents and mountains. Sometimes this power erupts in the form of supervolcanoes, vast, hidden cauldrons far more destructive than any ordinary volcano. These sleeping giants are not mountains but enormous underground chambers simmering just below our feet. Yet, the scars of their fury, massive calderas are etched into the land, visible only from space. When they awaken, the force unleashed is 1,000 times greater than Mount St. Helens. Super eruptions have triggered dramatic climate shifts, altering the course of life on Earth. The question is not if, but when, another will erupt. We now understand this threat and can prepare for its inevitable return. The sleeping giants beneath our feet are a reminder of Earth's power. What makes a volcano super? It's not the shape, but the scale. A supervolcano can erupt over 1,000 cubic kilometers of material, enough to blanket continents in ash. Unlike classic cone-shaped volcanoes, supervolcanoes hide vast magma chambers deep underground, sometimes dozens of miles across. Over millennia, magma and gas build relentless pressure, swelling the ground above. When the crust finally fails, the eruption is catastrophic. The ground collapses, forming a caldera, and a supersonic blast of ash and gas shoots into the stratosphere. Dr. Michael Poland of the USGS likens it to a giant underground abscess. Pressure builds until the rock above gives way. The sudden release transforms molten rock into deadly ash, carried by winds across the globe. It's not lava flows, but fine ash that poses the greatest threat, capable of circling the planet and impacting every corner. The true danger is in the aftermath, not just the eruption itself. Supervolcanoes are rare, but their impact is global. Understanding their anatomy is the first step in preparing for their return. The world watches and waits. Yellowstone National Park is more than a natural wonder. It's the world's most famous supervolcano. Its geysers and hot springs are surface signs of the immense heat engine below. The Yellowstone caldera, a vast depression 45 by 30 miles, is the remnant of ancient violent eruptions. Yellowstone has erupted on a colossal scale at least 3 times, the last about 640,000 years ago. That eruption spread ash across North America, leaving a geological layer known as the Lava Creek Tuff. Earlier eruptions were even larger, occurring in rough cycles of hundreds of thousands of years. While the last event was 640,000 years ago, scientists caution, volcanoes don't run on schedules. The probability of a super eruption in any given year is extremely low. Beneath Yellowstone, seismic imaging reveals a vast, partially molten magma chamber. The ground breathes, swelling and subsiding as magma and fluids move below. GPS stations track these subtle motions, reminding us the system is alive. Yellowstone is intensely monitored, but a super eruption is not considered imminent. Still, its presence is a powerful reminder of the forces shaping our world. We watch, we study, and we prepare. The sleeping giant remains under our careful gaze. If Yellowstone erupted, the devastation would be immediate and global. Pyroclastic flows would obliterate everything nearby, but the true catastrophe would be the ash cloud spreading worldwide. High-altitude winds would carry ash around the planet, darkening skies and blocking sunlight. A volcanic winter would begin. Global temperatures would plummet. Volcanic ash is sharp, abrasive, and heavy, collapsing roofs and shutting down infrastructure. Even a thin layer can cripple transportation, contaminate water, and short-circuit power grids. Agriculture would collapse. Crops smothered, soil poisoned, livestock dying. Food chains would break down, and famine could threaten millions far from the eruption. Sulfur dioxide in the stratosphere would reflect sunlight, causing years of cold and chaos. Weather patterns would shift, monsoons could fail, and droughts or floods would strike unpredictably. The world would be transformed, hostile, unpredictable, and dangerous. Human endurance and ingenuity would be tested as never before. The effects would linger for years, perhaps a decade. This is the true legacy of a supervolcano, a world under ash, struggling to adapt. Survival would depend on preparation, cooperation, and resilience. The challenge would be global, and so must be our response. In the face of such a threat, preparation is our best defense. For those near the blast, evacuation is the only option. For everyone else, readiness is key. Shelter, clean water, food, and protection from ash. N95 masks, goggles, and weeks of supplies could make the difference. Governments must plan for mass shelter and resource distribution. Scientists monitor supervolcanoes with seismometers, GPS, and satellites, providing early warnings. A super eruption would not be silent. There would be signs, earthquake swarms, ground swelling, changes in gas emissions. These warnings could give us weeks or months to prepare. The threat is real, but not a reason for fear, only for vigilance and respect. By understanding these forces, we gain foresight. We may not prevent an eruption, but we can endure and adapt. Our journey on this dynamic planet continues, shaped by the giants beneath our feet. Knowledge is our greatest asset and our hope for survival. Be sure to like and subscribe and get your survival gear in the link in the description.